Today, I've got a question for you. What's your favorite video game? I know, it's a really hard question to answer, and I've been dealing with answering that question as well for this project. Because obviously I have so many favorite games, but I had to decide on one. Considering the amount of hours I've put into a game, I guess the obvious answer is overwatch. If you know me at all, you know my main is Mercy. A lot of people make fun of Mercy mains, but I've always said I'm a proud Mercy main. I do not care. Mercy is cool, Mercy is cute, Mercy is iconic, and you know what? Mercy is also a fairy, so that made my choice quite easy for this project. It's literally my favorite skin from my favorite video game, so that's what we're making today. This is going to be my first doll repaint project here on the channel, and I've got a lot to learn, I know I do, but I hope you guys enjoy watching my journey. That's it, without any further ado, let's make this doll. Woo! So today's victim is a G3 Clio. I got her secondhand on eBay. I've undressed the doll, and now I'll begin by prepping her hair. You don't need to tie your hair up in a ponytail to cut it, but I want to keep this hair for a possible future project. Now I just need to cut the rest of the hair as short as possible. Now we can finally remove the head. I was using a hairdryer, but it was taking too long, so I'm gonna try the hot water method instead. It's my first time doing this, and I heard that Monster High G3 heads are tough to remove, so pray for me. So apparently the trick is to get the first part of the neck out first, and then take out the last bit separate, to avoid breaking the neck back. Oh my god, I did it! I can't believe it! My first try! So much beginner's luck. I'm so happy. Now the panic levels are substantially lower, so I'm gonna finish removing the hair. Her makeup is so pretty, it feels wrong to remove it, but here I go. And for that I'm using pure acetone and a cotton pad. Let's see if I can get a good print on the cotton pad. Bye, Cleo. Now I need to further shed Cleo's identity from this doll, sorry Cleo, by sanding off her bandages texture. After a lot of sanding, I'm left with this, and it's not perfect, but it will work. I'm going to seal her with Mr. Super Clear and take her outside to paint her using spray paint. I've also built her some elf ears out of Warbler, and I literally almost forgot to do it before painting, but at least she's done, for the base color I mean. So now I'm going to start prepping wefts for her wig. If these look too long to you, you're right. These are for a human-sized wig I'm making because I'm also making a Sugar Plum Fairy Mercy cosplay. Here's some sneak peeks of how my work is going. So long story short, these are easier to show you, so just imagine the same but in the smaller scale. The result was a ridiculous amount of wefts like this. Now I'm gonna go work on my cosplay wig, and after that, I'm gonna do it all over again with the leftovers, and that's what I'm using for this doll's wig. I also made her a wig cap, and now I'm just trimming it. Now I'm just gluing wefts to the wig cap until the wig looks full. Okay, I think this looks good. I'm also going to make a separate braid. And I'm gonna seal it with Mr. Super Clear so there's no flyaways. Next, I've started sectioning her hair for styling. By the way, can we just take a moment to appreciate my kawaii nails? They're done by my sister Bia. She's an absolute nail genius. She has her own shop and she's about to expand to a bigger one, so I'm really proud of her. But also my nails grow too quickly, please don't judge. Can I turn this into a bun? She wonders. Not gonna lie, I thought at this point that I was gonna give up on the whole project. I'm a bit dramatic, I know. I'm a Leo, okay? So then I basically decided I could not give up because my pride is at stake. So my new plan better work or I'll die in sorrow. So a couple panic attacks later, I've decided to not give up and fix my mess. Don't get me wrong, I was definitely crying inside thinking of the hours I spent making wefts. But I'm making this project to learn, so I can't surrender now. Okay, I think I'm finally getting somewhere. But before jinxing it, let's try to make the hair bun. I can't believe I actually managed to save this bun. And now I can finally finish styling the wig. Now I'm adding some glue and I'm going to add the braid we've made before. And after the glue dried, my doll wig was complete. I'm very glad I didn't give up. So, because of all the extra glue, now I can't get the wig out. So I'm gonna start her face up with the wig on and I'm scared. After I did the base colors with acrylic and sealed with more Mr. Super Clear, this is what she looks like so far. Now I'm gonna add some more acrylics to her face and paint her eyeballs. I'm going to add some eyeshadow as well and some eyeliner, and I'm gonna come back when she's all cute. Yes, I've decided to also add some extra sparkles to her face, and now I'm going to gloss her lips and cure the varnish under my UV lamp. And because there's no such thing as too much sparkle, I'm going to add mini rhinestones to her eyes. Look at all that sparkle! So the face is done and it's time to paint the body. Most of this shading will be hidden by the clothes, but I still think it's worth it to shade the body to practice and improve. And yes, it's another excuse to use more glitter, because she's a snow fairy after all. Yeah, so now we've got the doll, but we still have to make her clothes and her armor, so let's go. The first thing I did was her thigh highs, and they're too small to share the sewing part. Now we need to tackle the purple bits. I'm going to start by making the gloves, and for that I'm using a red thread and a small zigzag stitch. Now I just need to fold them in half, sew down the edges, and the gloves are done! I've also sewn down all the parts of the bodysuit. Now we just need to close it. For that I'm using some Velcro tape, cutting it smaller to fit the scale of the doll, and attaching it with some universal glue. I'm so happy with how clean it looks, only one little detail missing. I made this with EVA foam and painted it silver, but I'll explain a little bit more in detail later when I make her armor. With the bodysuit complete, we can move on to the skirt. These are all the patterns I made for everything, and I've also already cut them out of EVA foam. These will be for the skirt, armor, wings and headpiece. I'm going to start by covering the skirt petals in white shiny lycra. I'm using Mod Podge for this, but PVA or spray glue works too. After they're dry, the skirt petals look very nice. They're so good! But we know the petals aren't white on Mercy's costume, so we're going to paint the gradients on them. For that I'm using acrylics mixed with water and an airbrush to create the gradients. I started doing this and literally went out of frame the whole time, and I finally noticed when they're already done. I mean, I still have to do the purple part of the gradient, so I suppose you can see me do that. And lastly, I make a waistband for the skirt. Time to assemble the skirt, so I'm going to do a little time lapse. I'm using Velcro and glue again for the closure. I added a couple more EVA foam details and now the skirt is done. Finally, the body and the hair for the doll are complete, but we still need to work on her armor, her wings, the shoes. There's so much to do, so let's get going. For the armor pieces, I'm going to use Warbler scraps. This is black Warbler, which I'm also using for the cosplay. I normally use a heat gun to work with Warbler, but I'm using a lighter here because the pieces are so small. And I'm just adding them to the EVA foam to hold shape. Now I'm going to take some silver acrylic paint and I'm going to paint her armor bracers and the other silver bits. For the purple parts, I'm just going to use the leftover paint in my airbrush, although I wasn't happy with how the corset came out, so I'm just remaking it, this time covering the EVA with lycra like the skirt. I'm using the same purple fabric but inside out, so it shows without the sparkles. Now I just need to glue on some little details made out of more fabric. And the corset is done. This is what it looks like with the bodysuit. And now I'm going to make her wings. I've traced and cut my pattern twice on a takeaway box lid. And now I'm gonna cover them in holographic film. Woo! They look so pretty. And now it's time to paint them. The wings are painted and now I can attach them to the supports. For the wing-shaped adornments on her armor and headpiece, I'm going to repeat the exact same steps I did for the wings just before. And just like that, her armor and wings are all done. But first, we need to make her some shoes. I traced her sole when I made my patterns, and now I just had to trace it twice onto EVA foam. I've also cut out 2 of her shoe patterns out of pink fabric, and 2 more soles with the same pink. Now I'm assembling all the shoe parts using glue. And now it's starting to resemble a shoe, it just needs some perfecting. I'm gluing in the outer sole, folded the top edges, and now our base shoe is ready for embellishments. To make the hearts for her shoes, I'm going to take some purple pigments, and I'm using them to coat the silicone mold. Next, I'm taking some UV resin and filling up the 2 smallest hearts in the mold. Now I need to cure the hearts for a few minutes under my UV lamp. Now I can finally demold them. And after another coat of pigment and some varnish, the tiny hearts are done. Now I need to glue them to the shoes. And lastly, I'm just adding some ribbons to complete the shoes. And the shoes are done! Everything is finished and looks so cute together. Now it's time to assemble the doll and see what it looks like in the end. So this doll is ready and I cannot wait to show you the final results. But first I just want to say this has been such a roller coaster of emotions. The Sugar Plum Fairy skin is my favorite skin in the entire game. She's Mercy, she's a fairy, she's a ballerina. What's there not to like? I still love the game, so I want to make some more Overwatch dolls. We want to make Diva. I'm going to be making a few more Blizzard dolls for sure as well, but I don't know when that's going to be because I've got a few ideas. The next two dolls I'm doing are not going to be Monster High dolls just because I want to work a bit with a variety of dolls before I get too stuck. I understand why a lot of people use Monster High for custom dolls, and I'll definitely do it again in the future. That's why I chose Cleo Denial for Mercy, because I want to make the other Overwatch dolls, and obviously I'm gonna have to use, spoiler alert, Draculara for Diva because she's really tiny. Obviously if I want to make taller characters like Moira, Widowmaker for example, like they're taller, so I'll probably be using Abby, and that is why I did it with a Cleo Denial G3. Also because if I want to do like Symmetra or Sombra, I can use a Cleo again and I don't have to whitewash her, because I still feel really bad for Cleo Denial. I still feel like, oh my god. Yeah, so I still feel like, okay, I erased your character, I've erased your identity. I definitely whitewashed her to turn her into Mercy. Don't hate me, and I'm probably gonna use a Cleo Denial again. And I'm not going to whitewash her this time, I promise. Pinky promise. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe, because I wanna do more of these videos, but obviously I do these videos for you. So I hope you do enjoy it. If you don't, please let me know. Just tell me that I suck and I'll go back to making unboxings. But yeah guys, that's it. I can't wait to show you the next one I'm working on right now. And with that, I'm gonna say bye. See you in my next video.